Multiple big stocks are down. The large companies, Nvidia down 1.7%, Tesla down almost 3%, Palantir down almost 2% as well. And then Alibaba had an earnings miss, down 8% on the day. We can see that a lot of these companies are coming up to a range where it is going to be an important decision as far as, are they going to enter a bull market and squeeze higher, or are they going to get this rejection and bring them right down to their recent relative lows? This goes for Nvidia because you can see where it's trading at right now. This goes for Tesla as well, 340 to 365 being this range. And it goes for plenty of other plays. Has Palantir double topped? Is it hitting its max price discovery? What is going to happen going forward? UNH is a stock that is down even more, down 16%, after it is having issues inside the company right now, lawsuits going on with the company. It is now trading down to 260, 259 right now, getting a massive crash to the downside with increased volume. Be very careful touching these plays, but at the same time, I know people are saying don't try and catch a falling knife. I do believe at some point this is going to turn around. It's going to turn around hard. The RSI is extremely oversold, and I think we could see a bounce pretty quickly back to 380 by the end of the year, at least. Now, Fed Powell came out today because we had PPI inflation come out cooler than expected, which was actually good news, yet the market is sideways. Fed Powell also said that he is cautious about higher long-term rates as supply shocks provide policy changes, which brings us into the SPY 587.30, basically flat on the day. It's an annoying trading day. What we see right now is the SPY getting a daily candle off of this zone that we had drawn out at 585, which was a key resistance level. I'm not mad at all that the SPY is hugging 585 after smashing right through it, because we originally said that this was going to be resistance, and we cracked right through it on this candle right here on Tuesday, May 13th. And now we are consolidating at this range. So yes, after market open, people were calling for more downside, but you can see that we are consolidating and holding up here on the SPY still. VIX got a little bit of a pop, now selling off even further. Right now, across the board, the most that you could possibly say about plays, about the SPY, about Bitcoin, about VIX, everything has just went after running, right? These stocks have jogged a marathon, and actually they've sprinted. These stocks have sprinted around the track, and they're just taking a few huge deep breaths before, well, one, more running, or two, they fall and collapse. And as of right now, there's no reason to think that they're going to fall and collapse, because momentum is still here. Momentum is cooling, but it doesn't mean it's gone. Okay, so that's something that we have to pay attention to. And I'm going to actually explain Bitcoin also correlates with GameStop, which also correlates with the market. I'm going to bring the drawings in right here. This is what I assume to happen for a possible Bitcoin Bitcoin scenario based on previous scenarios, just like we saw in 2021. And I'll just put it out very simply as to why this is my prediction. What my prediction is. First of all, we came back down to 100K on Bitcoin. We're still holding, fighting 102 right now, which is fine. We came all the way up to 105, almost 106 on Bitcoin. So we're just consolidating again in this range, building a spring for another push higher. As of right now, I'm okay with Bitcoin coming all the way up to 113,000, or I'm okay with it coming all the way down to 99,500. I'm okay with a retracement. I'm okay with a pop. As long as we are in the range between 99,000 and 113,000, this is what I expect to happen. At some point, coming into early June, between June 1st and June 8th, I expect GameStop to start squeezing higher, as well as AMC, and I stand by that. Following this, okay, I do believe that they may get a second rally, second push, or just a longer squeeze coming into the first week of July as well. Now, I also do believe by the first week of July to the third week of August, at some point somewhere in this zone, Bitcoin will have its top. It might not look like this. It might look like something like this. I don't know what it's going to look like, but between this time frame, between first week of July, late June to third week of August, Basically, I do assume that it's going to happen earlier, and I want to point that out there. Bitcoin's already has its dominance slipping, and I think altcoins gain and then short squeeze plays are going to take off a little bit sooner as Bitcoin fades momentum around 113 to maybe at most 122 to 136, right? As the momentum goes, we have to see what's fading. Now, we did see some bearish price action today. Everyone saw that in GameStop. Somebody loaded $160,000 worth of $22 puts on GameStop expiring next year. So we saw this was January 16th. So somebody purchased leaps on puts that GameStop will be under $22. Yeah, it's bearish, but the expiration's extremely far out. Somebody also purchased $33 puts for October 17th. 160 days out. Nothing too crazy. These are bearish positions, but does that mean GameStop's going to go down from here? No, it likely means that they're trying to keep the price down, and I'll explain why. We can explain that right now. This is exactly why. This $30 level, you see all these numbers? This is huge gamma ramping that is about to happen on GameStop. If we got over 30, we came to 29.40, and you can see they're using everything in their power. There's about 5 million shares available to borrow short against GameStop. We are now about to possibly get a bounce off of the 50 EMA at $27.40. Hopefully we hold there. But based off of Bitcoin levels, I will explain that I believe something like this will happen with GameStop, and I will stand by this. At this point, we may trade flat, and it doesn't have to play out like this. We may trade flat in this range between what will be $28 and $27.40, or we may get a spike back higher, and we may squeeze now. But what I do expect, and this is based off of data as well and some DD that people have done, is by May 29th, we are going to see the first leg up on GameStop. By May 29th, May 30th. As far as the second leg up goes, as far as the peak goes, sometime between May, late May, mid-July. At this point, this is the time frame. This is the timeline, and it's not changed timeline. This is what I assume is going to happen. This lands on ETF rebalancing. We have massive FTDs coming out on GMEU. All of that stuff is for another video, but between GMEU, the other GME ETF that was created, and then XRT, we have a cycle that is going to play out. And I do believe Roaring Kitty understands the cycles. He's timing it, and he is a whale in the system right now. I also do want to note, people are, I don't blame you. Oh, this is a huge red candle. What's happening with GameStop? We're down 4%. It's ugly. One, my calls are being burnt away as well. So I'll just put that out there. Two, this is exactly what I anticipate to happen. I think it's healthy, and we can explain why. Put very simply, we go to previous run-ups. What happened, right? Well, GameStop was on a nice little tear, and we started cracking down. Come on, what's happening with GameStop? Bang, huge rip. Again, we start cracking down. Oh, what's happening with GameStop? Bang, huge rip. Again, start cracking down, and then slam higher. And then, you can go to a bunch of different run-ups, but the same thing happened back in 2021 as well. Damn, what's going on with GameStop here? This sucks, right? Boom, and then you get the rips. This is cool. This is what happens. If you didn't see a pullback, it'd be more questionable than if you saw a pullback, right? Just this build up into a squeeze would be cool. But the fact that you're seeing a build up and then this pullback, this is priming for a hard move higher, in my opinion. This is just in my opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Same goes for AMC. We pull back before a squeeze, and you can just take a look at the recent one, right? What happened here? What's going on with AMC? We cracked back down from 375 all the way to 290, and then out of nowhere, you pop higher, you jump higher. Now, GameStop, let's talk about this. Convertible bonds yesterday hit an all-time high of 124% of face value, in addition to all-time high close of 122.8%. They also had trading volume yesterday of 33.2 million units. That's more than 22x the number of bonds outstanding traded in a single day. A lot of talks, what does that mean? Well, let's break it down. Investors are extremely bullish on GameStop. They're buying up convertible bonds, which can turn into stock at crazy premiums, 124% of face value as of yesterday, because they think the stock will go much higher. The huge trading volume, 22 times the amount of bonds that exist, show there's insane demand, likely from hedge funds, institutions, and speculators. Now, speculations on major GameStop stock moves could be a driving factor. The price action and volume suggests traders are betting on huge stock rally, possible short squeeze, or massive retail slash institutional push. Convertible arbitrage and hedge fund activity could also be reasons. Some funds use complex strategies where they buy the bonds and short the stock to profit from volatility or mispricing. Very possible. If this trade goes wrong and the stock goes way up, they're forced to cover, driving the stock and bond prices even higher. Roaring Kitty, meme stock, hype resurgence, all factor, right? Roaring Kitty recently resurfacing, yada, 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 anticipating a rally coming forth. Overall, the point being, whether it's hedging, whether it's investors being super bullish, this is not a bad scenario. This is an extremely good scenario. We move on. Susquehanna International added 3.62 million shares of GameStop, bringing total position size to over 150,000. Okay, so they added 3,620 shares. I don't know if this number is accurate. If you just look at the filing right here, it looks to be 3 million shares. Okay, yeah, that's correct. 3 million shares worth 150 million. So that's something to note. Susquehanna as well disclosed 290 million in Bitcoin ETF holdings, which is also something to pay attention to. Now, tomorrow we are getting a monthly CAT update, the CAT system. This is important because we're going to see where those errors are coming in again, where those quote-unquote data glitches are coming in again. We saw GameStop, on the specific dates that we saw rallies, we saw like 15 billion, 8 to 15 billion CAT errors, and we're going to see what's been going on recently as well. Last but not least, GameStop posted, born too late to explore the earth, born too early to explore the universe, born just in time to shop at GameStop. Is it time? Moving on, Chewy. Yesterday we called out Chewy because we got a beautiful candle, and I said if we open above $40.80, we'll watch this thing ride. We didn't open above that, I don't believe, but we are now building a candle above this fib level. What do we watch for Chewy? Well, we're watching for 46.60. SMCI, it is down 4.2%, but we had a major green week. We touched major levels, and I consider this a breakout. If we retrace back to 41.20, I would like to get in. But as of right now, I do still see SMCI as a buying opportunity for ultimately us to come back up to $62.60 by June 20th, and that is what I'll call out for. I've been giving you Celsius, CELH, looking beautiful, confirming its breakout. Another one to pay attention to, ACHR, which is up 3%. This is entering, I believe, what could be a range of fast moves higher, so keep this one on your radar. Kava and some other companies are reporting earnings tonight. I am not necessarily playing in earnings or calling for this, but I do believe Kava is more likely to have a gap fill up to 110, which is about a 10.5% gain, than a gap down. But again, these earnings are completely risky. We could see a drop to $88 if we don't see 110. So you never know what's going to happen. Let me know in the comments down below if you are playing this. Also, make sure to join my Discord server if you guys aren't in my Discord or have never joined a Discord before. Make sure to join. We just added a chart section, which is pretty exciting, where people are now sharing their technical analysis as well as their charts. So if you guys aren't in here, get in the Discord right now. We also have a short squeeze tab. I post my positions, video requests if you want to request videos, and we have tons of alerts in here, which is just absolutely insane for the value you get out of it. That is the top link in the description, and I will leave the link pinned in the top of comments, guys. Make sure to drop a comment onto the video. Funded futures account, don't forget you're getting 50% off using my code LOTTO at checkout, which is insane. You can get up to 3 funded accounts. Guys, don't sleep on that. Go get your 60 free stocks, all that other stuff in the description. That is it. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.